All right, welcome to episode 2, All Things Latino. I am GADIEL and this dude is Marquez.
Welcome to All Things Latino podcast with your hosts GADIEL and Islos Marquez. This podcast delves into the Latino culture and achievements of Latino movers and shakers.
Yeah, welcome to the second episode of All Things Latino.
You already know. We got a couple of topics we want to talk to you guys about, which are great. We what is it that you want to talk about? What is it that you have?
I think a big topic, I think one of the biggest things that's facing, or it's a big topic of controversy. It's like, it's Latinos in media, music, the movement, what it means, what it is, how it's going, what direction it's going, and what we think we should be doing to help center Latinos or help to get us to where we should be as far as representation goes, as far as visibility goes. So I think a big example right now is obviously like the Blue Beetle.
Okay, yeah.
The Blue Beetle movie.
Which I was telling y'all to watch the Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
movie.
you were on it.
I was on it.
Yeah.
I'm not even Mexican, right? And I'm like talking to these Mexican cats, which are here. You know, Alejandro behind the camera, and then you. I was like, yo, y'all gotta watch this. It's mad Mexican. I'm Dominican. I felt like I related to it. And a lot of times that these studios, they put out these movies and they be like, oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because you guys don't promote it, right? Mira, what was the Colombian one that went viral? It was the animation one.
Encanto. Yeah.
Encanto did not do good in the movies. It did not. But guess what? Once it went on Disney, it went when it got on social media, it skyrocketed. It hit. It was a massive hit. You know why? Because they did it right.
They promoted it.
Well, they didn't promote it. It didn't do good.
Oh, it became
in the movie theater.
Oh, so you're saying like it blew up?
It blew up after it was put on Disney Plus, and all these kids were like, "Oh my God, I see myself."
Yeah.
I see myself. And the little kid, I remember. I don't remember if you remember when this little kid. I think they posted on Facebook or something. This kid stood in front of the TV and he had like a little afro hair. He was like, "Mommy, that's me." And, like, this is the first time this kid seen anything like it. Like he saw himself.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, for real.
I think that was beautiful.
I think when it comes to like when Coco came out,
Uh-huh.
right? Everybody went to go. That's one. It's a great story.
Latinos were always complaining about that we don't get much representation on television, but we are 33% of the people that goes to the movies. We buy the most movie tickets.
100%.
Yeah, and our buying power, people don't understand. We have a $3 trillion buying power.
Yep.
Like, this is a movement. We're like, Latinos, we are strong people in the United States of America, but we move through the United States of America like we got no power, like we got no money.
Right.
When we do. During the pandemic, 50% of the houses that were bought by Latinos.
Yeah.
Right? When I was working at BuzzFeed, Pero Like was the top number 2 page that was making money. And our numbers were not even that great compared to everybody else. And it's because Latino people want to put more money into Latinos. They want to put more money into the culture because they know we spend. Nosotros agarramos el dinero que agarramos y lo gastamos de una vez.
No, that's real. But see, the problem is that the powers that be, right? Like the big studios and the big, I don't think that they're capable of telling our stories. I don't think that they have the insight. Like when it came to Coco, they did it right because they got with Latin artists, filmmakers, musicians, like it was so infused with Latin talent and Latin stories. You know, with the ofrenda, the story about Dia de los Muertos, like all of that, they brought all those elements together. So there was a level of authenticity that we all, even if you're Mexican or not Mexican, you were able, as a Latino, you were able to identify with it. And that's what I think made it so great. And then it's a story about, like, it's a coming of age story. It's about a little boy becoming who he is. And it's also, you know, generations, you know, passing down traditions, you know.
They also had like little like Easter eggs that as Latinos, you're like, you know, I think they showed cantinflas in there, right? Like,
yeah.
And I think those things were so cool that
They incorporated.
they
them.
incorporate a
Yeah.
lot of things,
Yeah.
and I think it took over 10 years to make or something like that.
I think there was something, like there was some reason that they didn't make a Latino story for a long time. Something that happened. I don't know what it was, but when it did finally come out, it wasn't just Latinos. It was mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, because it's Disney.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great place to start. But the problem with a lot of these other movies and stories, especially the TV shows that they give us, like
No. The TV shows they do is one or two Latino writers and everybody else is white.
Yeah.
Like they could write a Latino story. They can't. They're not gonna be able to relate, no matter how great of a writer this. And I know there's great Latino writers.
Great Latino
and
writers.
there's writers that never experienced Latinidad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That were never proud that they said Latino. Yeah, but all of a sudden, soy Latino. Let's create Latino stuff. When you grew up and you never experienced it, or there's a lot of people that I'm not gonna talk for everybody, right? But if you never experienced, at least get somebody that have experience. I know growing up in high school, there were people that were ashamed to be Latino.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's I'm pretty sure you met that. I remember meeting people in high school.
Yeah.
And like, even though they were born and raised in the United States of America, like there was like this certain type of shame.
Yeah, that came with it.
That came with being Latino.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? They saw us as the everywhere in media was, one, we were the bad guys. To this day, they still put us in political.
Yeah, with the cholos, the gangbangers,
the cholos, the bang-bangers. That's one thing I appreciate about Pero Like.
Yeah.
Is that when we were in Pero Like, we shied away from cholos. We didn't do no cholo stuff and no gang stuff. Like, I did like one drug video and I got in trouble.
Yeah.
But we shied away because we're a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's definitely it definitely is a part of the culture that I feel needs to be represented, but I feel like it's so overrepresented. I've auditioned to play a cholo more than I've auditioned to play anything else.
That's sad.
In
That's
Hollywood.
sad.
And that's the truth.
That is true, and it's sad.
But see,
You don't even look like a cholo.
bro. If you
Come
put
on.
a bandana on me, dog, what's up, fool? I can do the voice. Like, hey, fool, what's up, homie? Kyle, dog. What's up, fool? Where you from, dog? I could do it, fool. But
He didn't even talk like that for real in real life.
never.
You do say vato a lot.
I say vato. Well, I'm from East Los, dog. Of course, I'm gonna say
got
I'm gonna
me
say vato.
saying
I'm gonna say
vato
chale,
and
of course.
shit.
But look, what I'm saying is like John Leguizamo has a point, right? He's probably our biggest advocate for representation. As
So you
far
disagree with John Leguizamo? Is that what it is?
I agree with the sentiment. I agree with him being like, yo, we need to be represented more in media, in all facets of media. I agree with that. The part where I don't agree with him is where he's like telling Hollywood, like, yo, we want like 30% of the roles. We want 30% of the leads, 30%.
Why not? We're less than 2%. We're like less than point something percent of the actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In media.
Yeah,
and all Hollywood.
I think we only got like, it was like either 1 or like 3% of lead
Una
roles.
mierda así. Una. Fue
Yeah.
una.
And I get that. But here's the issue with it. The issue with it is this: if we're saying that these studios or these mainstream production companies can't tell our stories, then I don't think it's on those companies and those people to give us these roles and these whatnot. I think it's on Latinos and Latino filmmakers and producers and writers to create compelling stories and
That's true.
and to create production companies and to create directors and cinematographers and storytellers.
Pero
I think there
también-
needs to be an entire network, because look,
Pero mira lo que uno tiene que pensar. Yes, we do have buying power, but the studios got the money to make it happen.
yeah,
Right? So we say we got Latino scripts. We got Latino directors. A lot of times you'd be like, oh, yeah, dame $3 million, because it's not cheap to make a movie.
Not.
They make $3 million, they'd be like, $3 million?
that's a low budget movie too.
That's a low budget.
That's a low budget movie. Yeah,
Y 3 millones pa uno is like, God damn, ya yo soy millonario.
yeah,
The thing is, these executives got the money to make these films, but Latino-owned companies don't have that type of deep pockets to take a risk. And we're in a weird space, right? And the space is that even making a movie, you don't even make your money back. So tú tienes que pensar, voy a dar $2 million y ese is not going to be made.
Yeah.
Voy a ganar ese dinero para atrás. No.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like we need to build.
Yeah.
We need to build our infrastructure. We need to build production companies. We need to build like
we need a Tyler Perry Latino.
Yeah, exactly. We need a godfather of Latino media and all that.
True. I agree.
100%. But the thing is, look, Hollywood has been around for so long, right? They've been making movies since before like the last 100 years, right?
Claro.
So the thing is
since caveman,
they've developed their network. They told their stories, right?
Yeah.
They've told their stories. They developed it. They grew it. So now it's on us
to build that and make that happen.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
And I think that where Latinos in Hollywood they make a mistake is, that right now like they're saying like why Latinos go and see Fast and the Furious so much. And the reason why is Fast and the Furious appeal to our culture, right? Like, and even though it's been Diesel and whatever, pero
we had Letty in there.
But we had Romeo Santos in one movie. We had Tego Calderon were a big part of one of our culture and their culture. I think they also, I don't know if they added Bad Bunny in the last one or something like that, but Cardi B will show up. So they're talking to the Latino culture, right? So and these people that are this is the problem. Yeah, I remember now. This is the problem that where Latinos are creating TV shows and movies, right? They make it in a way that they say gringos gotta watch. I remember I was working with a company que es Latino también, Latino, right? Yeah. And I was like, yo, we did a show. It was funny. And they were like, yo, Gadiel, can you put more English? And I was like, put more English? Why? They were like, tú tienes que hablar más en inglés, ¿por qué? So gringos could understand. I'm like, gringos could understand? I thought this shit was for Latinos.
Yeah.
What's el contenido so los gringos could understand? No. That's not the point. The point is I'm creating this content so that our people could see ourselves.
Right.
So our people could watch it.
Yeah.
Not
Bad Bunny don't do music in English.
No, he don't.
No.
Ahora sí con Kendall Jenner. Ahora con Kendall Jenner, she gentrifying it. That gentrifying Toto, huh?
I think that shit's funny, bro.
She's gentrifying the last hope we have.
For real, man. Benito, my guy. Really, what are you doing?
All right, so I think in order to solve the issues that we have with Latino, one, they need to invest, and give us more, take more risks. We have to create more production companies. We need to be the one writing the stories and the scripts.
I don't want to. We can't rely on Hollywood to come save us, dog.
No,
it has to be.
It's true.
We have to do it all ourselves. And even if it's crazy low budget, if the story is compelling,
you're right,
people are gonna watch.
That's true.
So that's for me. That I highly encourage Latino filmmakers, Latino writers, everybody.
Just do it.
Yo, write your stories. Get them looked at. Come together.
Yeah.
Like create stories that are compelling. Because when Netflix comes, they're like, hey, yo, we want to make a show about a taco shop. Like, okay, cool.
Me look about. I think that right now there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
La oportunidad es that we could start our own network, right? We could do our own streaming. We have that power now. It's not that we don't need to knock on their doors, but por favor, police, right?
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Raising Victor Vargas was a smash hit. And it wasn't a big movie. It was a B film. Right. Mi Vida Loca. I don't know if Blood In, Blood Out was low budget.
That was a big budget movie.
That was a big budget.
But it was good.
It was good. El Mariachi. He didn't even spend $1 in Mariachi.
Desperado.
Which turned into Desperado.
Yeah.
Right? So we have the equipment. We could make films with what we got here now.
Yeah.
We could go outside and make a film right now. And as long as the story is good, people will watch it. ¿Tú entiendes? Now we want to get all these extra. We need the AD and the AC and the AZ. You know what I mean? Like, no. That's it. Let's just freaking do it.
I agree. 100%. I think that's what it's gonna take. We gotta
do
take charge of our own destiny
Uh-huh.
and create our own stories, because we're the only ones who are able and capable of telling our stories.
Yeah.
So that's where I disagree with John Leguizamo, where he's like, yo, he wants Hollywood to like serve us 30% of the roles and the this and that, and I'm just like, that's a great idea for sure.
Idea.
I just don't see it happening. I don't see how.
How can they write these stories and dump us in there?
Exactly. How could they possibly do it? Like,
But
they don't know.
They could still add a Latino. They could still bring in Latino writers to switch up this show.
Yeah.
They could still be like,
to influence, right?
Mi hermano. Okay, let me put it like this. In the next 10 years, Latinos are going to be the majority in this country.
I think like 2040.
We are the second largest minority.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We got a strong buying power. And the last 7 years, Latinos grew, the population grew 25% were Latinos. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we are soon to be the majority. We are the future. This is where the trend is going. Why you think they brought a whole bunch of Ukrainians? You're like, oh, let's put some more milk in here.
Dame más leche. There you go.
Can we put some more milk in this latte?
That's funny. That's funny, bro. That's funny.
Make it almond milk.
It's looking a little dark over here. Excuse me.
So we're ready. We're soon to be the majority, right? So the trend is going this way.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that you see these shows and there are hardly any Latinos.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that we're not in the back cooking? You mean to tell me that we're not in this show? Like we like we're nowhere. Like if you go, let's say you saw what is it? This film was the Navy film was Maverick. What is it? Top Gun.
Top Gun.
The last Top Gun.
Yeah.
There was a lot of white people. Like understand they trickle here, black folks here and there, and you know I don't know if there was a Latina in there or not. All right, I mean, and if they use Latinos, it's Latinos that don't speak a lick of Spanish, or you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when I was in the Navy, there was a lot of Latinos. When I was in the Navy and we were launching planes and a jet came to me and sometimes we spoke in Spanish, we had a straight up Mexican chief that we used to call him Apocalypto. Navy, is the Navy. We had jokes like that.
Yeah.
He did look like Apocalypto in a way.
Yeah.
But what I love about him, Chief Mendo,
for the bone in his nose and shit.
What I love about him is sometimes there was once he showed up. We had a meeting. He showed up. He gave the whole discourse in Spanish and walked away, and everybody was like, "What happened?" Right? There was a lot of Latino. We spoke a lot of Spanish. Oye, pásamelo aquí. Yeah, like that's to pass me the jet. Oye, pásamelo aquí. Yo estoy aquí. Boom. We're talking on Instagram. Right? It was sometimes we're saying, conmigo burrito sabanero, mi burrito. There was so much Latino.
Yeah. But you didn't see none of that.
And then you watch these movies about the Navy. It's like now not one Latino.
Yeah.
Not one Latino going like this.
Nobody on the
Nobody.
landing the jet with the batons again. None of that.
They could at least make an effort, have one Latino going like, ¿Qué pasó?
Somebody dancing salsa on the runway.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Latino writers. There's a lot of Latino directors.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. But again, our community, our people, we got to be the ones that create it. It's not gonna come from Hollywood. Yeah, it's not gonna come from them. It's gonna come from us.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And the community got to support.
1,000%. And then if it's good stories and it's compelling characters, they're gonna watch.
No, and
we love novelas. Like we love good dramas.
I can't stand on
characters.
Shit.
Well,
we do.
Well, we do.
We love drama.
So if we create, I think what we need is, what the Cosbys, like the show The Cosbys, Different Strokes, Fresh Prince, like what that did for the American consciousness back when
putting black folks in the forefront and
putting black folks, it was like
in
bringing
a different light too.
Bringing the cameras into like the black experience and the black family, right?
Black middle class family too.
Yeah, or upper class with the Cosbys, or super upper class with the Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Like but it's a fish out of water story, right? Like where Will Smith is like a kid from quote unquote the ghetto, right?
Yeah.
The mean streets of Philadelphia. He ends up in this affluent neighborhood with this affluent family. White people across the United States were now in the home of a black family. And I think that's something that we need as
That's
Latinos. Like we need a show. And like the George Lopez show, groundbreaking show, huge show,
Yeah.
syndicated,
Yeah.
shout out Sandra Bullock for making that happen. George Lopez, of course, the Godfather, right? But that helped bring people into like the Latino home, right?
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be shows like that help tell our story from that kind of a perspective,
Yeah.
where people can see what it is to be in the Latino home, so they can kind of get in on our inside jokes, so they
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
they
And
can
how we
understand
are and the things
how
we
we are,
say.
what we do, what we
Yeah,
mean.
what we say.
Yeah. So
yeah, even but we are seeing a shift.
yeah, definitely.
And one thing I could say about this country, the United States of America, is I see a lot of like, forget this country is this and that. Compared to other countries, like we got it good.
Oh, 1,000%.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I love my people, Latinos, but if I go to Dominican Republic, not only Dominican, anywhere in Latino America, white supremacy is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
Aquí, por lo menos, in the United States of America, we talk about it. We talk about Afro-Latinidad, right? But when you say something like that in our country, they'll be like, Afro-Latino, what is that? I'm not Afro-Latino. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a conversation being
not
had
a-
anywhere else.
One thing I gotta give it to this country, that the conversation is being done. There are black folks that are conscious and creating films. Like we got a Tyler Perry creating all these dope ass black films. We just need that for us.
Yeah.
And if nobody else is gonna do it, we're gonna be the ones to do it.
Nah, there are some people doing it. Chicano Hollywood,
Okay.
right?
They are?
Yeah, they're creating. They got like a whole streaming platform of just Latino content.
A word?
Yeah.
Then we gotta bring them in.
Yeah, we'll bring them in. We'll get them on the pod.
Let's bring them on the pod.
Yeah, we'll bring them on the pod for sure.
Yeah, we'll bring in John Leguizamo, and then we're gonna show him all the shit you be talking about him.
yo, John Leguizamo, yo, he changed my life, dog. When he
He changed your life.
no. This is
So we're talking about they are studios making Latino films, right?
and content.
And because Latino content, which is Chicano Productions, right?
Chicano Hollywood is a platform that a lot of Latinos. It's a network for Latinos, filmmakers,
Shut the fuck up.
producers, writers. Chicano Hollywood is a network for Latino producers, filmmakers, actors, entertainers, where they're coming together and creating this platform. And they even have like a full streaming service. But there are production companies like Avenida Productions they're in LA, just outside of downtown. They got like 3, 4, 5 sets. They got a whole warehouse. But what they do is they help crowdfund Latino projects. So they even helped John Leguizamo when he did Latin American History for Idiots, I think it was, or for Morons or something like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they raised like $2 million for him, and they got him on broad. They got
Avenida Productions?
Avenida Productions.
Oh,
Avenida
let's talk. We got a couple of projects.
My boy Nelson Grande.
Y yo soy Gadiel Chiquito. Wait, that don't sound right. That's all right.
So I'm trying to shout him out, bro, so people know who he is. Look him up. He's the homie.
All right, let's look him up. We gotta bring people like this over here.
Yeah. No, we'll bring them down. We'll bring them down and have these
Like,
conversations.
everybody, that you know what? That's what we're gonna do. Like this is also a night where we got the power to do stuff like that.
Yes.
And the people that support us, that got our back, like we're having a Patreon.
Yeah, because we be acting too. So if you're gonna cast anybody,
Yeah, no, I'm saying, think about us. But we're taking the power.
Yeah.
Where this is all things Latino. When we talk about all things Latino, this is a network.
Yep.
And the people that listen to us, you're part of this crew. You're part of this network. Everybody that's in this room is part of this crew, is part of this network. This is not only a podcast. This is a movement. And what we're doing is we're going to create not only our own stuff, like, yes, our own podcast and content here, but we're going to fucking make content for the big studios.
Yep.
You know, the movies, the TV shows, and we're gonna create this network for us, by us, and it is what it is because we are the future. We are the superpower, and I say this is a giant that's been sleeping for a very long time, and I'm done. We done sleeping, and we're coming for everything.
Yeah. And it's already. I feel like so much of it is already happening because of the music, like Bad Bunny, Peso Pluma. Karol G, Becky G, Like,
Look at Karol G, like selling out that stadium.
yo, she sold 45,000 Levi Stadium like this
Wow.
past Monday.
Wow.
45,000 people sold out the stadium, and then
In Spanish.
and then she went to Texas, and I think they did like 60,000 in Houston.
Damn.
Yeah. They were saying
Is she single?
Karol G.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if she want 2 or 3 boyfriends, bro, I'm down.
Damn, man.
She beautiful, man.
She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
And
bro.
one thing about Karol G, let me tell you something. Karol G es un amor. I met her in person. And we met a couple of times. And man, and this woman, like what you see in front of the camera and in front of the scenes is who she authentically is behind the scenes. Karol G es un amor. Ella trata a todo el mundo bien. That's one thing I will tell you about her.
God, I gotta meet her one day.
I met her already.
Yo, pues.
Ya te lo perdiste. Bueno, señores, this has been the end of the episode 2 podcast. Keep listening in. Subscribe to our Patreon. We're gonna talk about like later on. We're gonna talk about like what are the levels of the Patreon, like the $5, the $10, the $20, all that.
Our OnlyFans.
Yeah, but the people that put in $20 we're gonna start naming them at the end of the podcast. That's something we'll do, and we're gonna have exclusive content within the Patreon that we don't want people to hear what we hear.
Yeah. But I mean, it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it.
Some nights out, some salsa, some bachata.
Señores, gracias por apoyarnos. This is All Things Latino. This is only the beginning.
Latino. Follow us.
Make sure you follow us at what is this nigga name? Marquez.
East Los Marquez. On Instagram, you find me at all my platforms are East Los Marquez. So follow me.
It's the worst fucking Instagram handle I heard in my life.
Man, whatever. I represent for East Los, dog.
Nobody know what East Los is.
Well,
if you're not from LA.
After me, they will know.
East Los?
Yeah.
A Dominican do it, be like East Los.
Yeah. And then but once I get the name out there, people are gonna know, oh, East Los.
I mean, people from New York will be like, I think he meant Isla, but since he's a no sabo guy, he's saying
Low key, no sabo. Low key. Hey, but I'm reading books in Spanish.
You reading books in Spanish?
Yeah, bro. I've been. Look, for people who don't know. Look, I grew up. I'm Mexican, 3rd generation Mexican. My mom's passed when I was very young.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the streets. Like, we weren't even allowed in the house when I was a kid. So I didn't grow up speaking Spanish. I didn't really start speaking Spanish till I started dancing salsa and bachata at 24.
Damn,
so I didn't know any Spanish. And now I could, get through a pretty decent conversation. I sell things in Spanish. So, learning. But I'm reading books. Like, kids books in Spanish. So that way I'm learning. Yo, I'm gonna learn. Within the next 2-3 years, vas a ver, bro.
Good. No, he been talking Spanish. He just doesn't understand Dominican Spanish.
Dominican Spanish. That's like Spanish, like remixed. That's like, it's a different kind of Spanish, dog.
It's like a higher level Spanish. You need
I don't know about a higher level.
It's a level.
It's different.
It's a high level of frequency that you need to
It
have.
sounds cool
To understand Dominican Spanish.
Everybody sounds like they're rapping.
Yeah, because we speak so fast and we always coming up with new lingo.
No, but you be cutting off like words. Like you don't say por qué. You say por qué.
Because we are intentional people.
Sure.
Señores, gracias por el apoyo. Lo queremos mucho. Yo soy Gadiel del Orbe.
I'm East Los Marquez.